What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to be making my NCAA tournament predictions, so let's run through it. So I'm pretty much going to be doing this section by section. Right here is the first section, and in the first game I have Virginia over the 16th seed because I just don't see an upset happening. There's just too much talent with Virginia, and yeah. Second game, I have Kansas State over Creighton. Creighton has been struggling as of late, and that's why I picked Kansas State. Kentucky over Davidson. I could kind of see an upset here, but I'm going to stick with Coach Cal. But Arizona, I do like, mainly because of DeAndre Ayton, but also their experience with Alonzo Trier and Raul Alkins. In this game, I do have an upset. Loyola Chicago could beat Miami, and that's who I'm taking here in the first game because the BPI is really close for these two teams. And Loyola Chicago has not been in the tournament for a while, so I think they're going to come out hungry. And Miami really doesn't have the star power that other teams do. Tennessee here, I would say, is a safe pick over Wright State because I don't really know much about Wright State, and Tennessee has been very consistent over the whole year. So I also like Texas and Cincinnati, really based on mostly their defense. They're very good defensive teams, especially Cincinnati. So here again, I have the 1 seed moving on, and that's just like a safe pick again, but I don't think an upset that bad is going to happen this year. Missouri, I do like, especially with Michael Porter being back. Ohio State, I can see being upset by South Dakota. South Dakota is a very offensive-oriented team, and Ohio State has been really inconsistent, especially against top teams. In the last game, Gonzaga, I do like them because of their experience in past tournaments. Even when they haven't been a high seed, they've still made it pretty far. So count on Gonzaga making it at least to the Sweet 16, if not the Final Four. I do have 2 upsets in this section. San Diego State over the University of Houston because San Diego State has beaten 3 top 25 teams, which is something big, especially in the NCAA tournament. Michigan has 2 very good big men, and they're very well coached, so I do see them getting by the first round pretty easy. Now, Texas A&M, they rely a lot on isolation offense, so I don't think they'll have a very good plan going into Providence, and Providence has shown they can beat big teams. UNC, led by Joel Berry, should have no problem in the first round. Very high disparity between talent. Villanova should storm past the first round. There's no way they're going to lose to the 16th seed. I would say they're the best team in the country. Even though Virginia is the #1 ranked team, I would still take Villanova. Virginia Tech and Alabama is a very close game, but I think Colin Sexton, with his star power, can put Alabama through to the next round. And one team that I really like because of their defense and their senior leadership is West Virginia. Javon Carter and all their team, very good defensive team, so I like them moving on to the next round as well. Wichita State has always proven to get past in the NCAA tournament for some reason, so I'm going with them. A lot of you may not know the Florida Gators, but they're a very good team as well. Chris Chiozza, their point guard, their leader, he's very poised. He knows exactly when to dribble, exactly when to pass. Very good shot taker. I like Florida against either UCLA or St. Bonaventure, but also Texas Tech, very good team. Not that many stars. I'm sure not that many people know anyone on the team, but very good all-around team. Butler is another team like Providence who's always proven to beat big teams, so I like Butler's chances in the first round against Arkansas. Purdue is much like Villanova. A lot of seniors, good talent, young players as well. I like Purdue as well. I have Kansas against Penn. That should be a lock. Pretty much everyone should pick that. Seton Hall I do like as well. They're very well coached. NC State's a good team though. So that one's kind of a toss-up, but I also have an upset in this section. New Mexico State, they're a very good defensive team. Against Clemson, who's not really been consistent the whole year. And they lost their best player, Dante Grantham, so that should be a big loss. They haven't done as well without him in the lineup. Auburn, I'm not really sure about them because they've just been consistent. That's how they got such a high seed, so I think they'll get it done in the first round as well against Charleston. Okay, in this next section, I have Michigan State, Arizona State, Rhode Island, and Duke moving on. Arizona State's mostly because they were beating big teams in the beginning, and also I'm from Arizona, so there's a little bit of bias, but that's what the tournament's all about, a little bit of luck. I like Michigan State a lot. Miles Bridges and Jaren Jackson, very good offense and defense. And then Oklahoma could catch fire, but Trae Young is all their offense, and if he's not on, then they're gonna lose. And I just think Rhode Island's a better team. Duke with Marvin Bagley, Grayson Allen, Trayvon Duval. I can't see them losing in the first round, so that's why they're on to the second round. Now, in the second round, I really like Virginia's chances against Kansas State. They're just not talented enough to beat Virginia. Kentucky and Arizona, that's a marquee matchup. That's a pay-per-view matchup. And I think I'm taking DeAndre Ayton in Arizona. I like Tennessee also because they're not playing that good of a team. And Texas, that's a bit of a stretch because they're mainly just Mohamed Bamba and defense, but I'm gonna go with Texas here. I just see them riding a wave of momentum into the Sweet 16, so that's why I'm going with them. Mo Bamba's a beast. If you don't already know that, go check him out. He's just insane. In the West region, it's tough because Xavier's one of the weaker 1 seeds that I've seen. But I think they'll take care of Missouri here. Gonzaga, again, with all their experience, the second round should be no problem for them. Michigan, also a very good team. I also don't see any problems with them. An upset though, Providence taking down North Carolina here. And that might be a stretch, but Providence, I think they can pull off an upset, especially against big teams. They always show up. Villanova against Alabama might be a good game, but Alabama would be really undermatched in this game, so I'm taking Villanova. I also like West Virginia against Wichita State just because of their defense. And then I have Florida upsetting Texas Tech. Again, Chris Chioza's a great leadership guy. And Texas Tech, they don't really have the stars to move on past the second round. But Purdue's a very good team. Vincent Edwards and Carson Edwards, yeah, they're very good. They also got, I think, a big man named Haas who just dominates in the middle. He just dominates the paint. So look out for them and their three-point shooting. In the Midwest region, I could see Seton Hall giving Kansas a run for their money, but I just really like Kansas with Devontae Graham and Mekhi Luke and all their players. Very good three-point shooting team. New Mexico State's going to be taken down by Auburn, I think, if they were to match up. I still like Michigan State a lot. I don't see any problems for them in this round. I also see Duke taking down Rhode Island pretty easily, but Rhode Island's gonna have a tough road to the Final Four if they were to make it. They would have to play Duke and then Michigan State, which that's a tough task for anyone. Okay, in the Sweet 16, we would have Virginia and Arizona again, and Tennessee and Texas. And I really like Arizona, especially because Virginia doesn't have any stars. Tennessee, I think, would overpower Texas just because they're a better team overall, and Texas relies on Mo Bamba too much. Now, I was gonna go with Gonzaga, but Xavier's been on a roll as of late, especially entering the tournament. They've won, I think, more than half of their games they've won. And Michigan, they're very good too. I like their chances against Providence. Here's where Florida's run would stop because Purdue's just massively talented. And Villanova, I have them in the championship game, mostly because Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges have been beasts for them. Absolute beasts, putting up numbers. I think Kansas would take care of Auburn pretty easy, but the big matchup here is Duke and Michigan State. That is an absolute masterpiece. That is a must-watch game. Miles Bridges against Marvin Bagley and them boys. Yeah, I can't even wait for that game. On a 50-50, I chose Duke. Arizona will get to the Final Four. I promise that. DeAndre Ayton is just Wilt Chamberlain-esque. If you have not seen this man play, he's dominant. That's why I have them beating Tennessee and getting to the Final Four. Now, Xavier and Michigan's a bit more of a toss-up, but I do like Xavier just because they have more experience in the NCAA tournament, and Michigan, they rely a lot on their bigs, so if Xavier can get good guard play, they're pretty much in. Villanova and Purdue is probably the most balanced game of any of these Elite Eight games. And really, I just like Villanova's talent more. Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges over Carson Edwards and Vincent Edwards. That's what I'm basing it on. Kansas and Duke, very good matchup. Very good coaches. But I think Duke has more talent, so I'm going with Duke. Marvin Bagley, Grayson Allen, all of them. You guys already probably know them. Arizona against Xavier is the perfect matchup of experience against talent. DeAndre Ayton against the experience of Xavier and their coaching staff. That's a good matchup right there, but I think the U of A is going to take that one by a slim margin. Villanova and Duke, again, experience against talent. And in this matchup, I think experience is going to take the battle. Villanova's been to the championship game before. They know what it takes to win. Duke, a lot of freshmen. In the championship game, Arizona against Villanova, and I think Villanova is going to take it. I just think they're a better team, but DeAndre Ayton will carry Arizona to the championship. Again, a little biased, but that's what it takes sometimes, you know, a little bit of luck, a little bit of scouting. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to leave a comment who you think is going to win the championship, and thank you guys.